All right. So my big hint to you on all of these is number them. Most people that come in and they're like, I can't get this, I can't get this. There's no numbers written on their paper at all. They're just trying to think it through, which you can think it through. It's just hard to think it through on a 3-circle Venn diagram. So it really helps to number all 8 parts. Okay. Down here, our main operation is union. That means plus. On the left side is A. So in circle A, I have 1, 2, 4, 5. So I'm going to write 1, 2, 4, 5 right there. On the right side of that, we have B intersects C complement. So if I said that in words we understood, that means it's in B and not in C. So if it's in circle B, we've narrowed it down to these 4 numbers right there, 2, 3, 5, 6. But it's not in circle C. So it's just the numbers, what? 2 and 3. And the plus sign is the easy one. It just means shade everything on the left plus shade everything on the right. So I'm going to shade 1, 2, 4, 5, plus I'm going to shade 2 and 3. And we're pretending I'm shading in the lines. Okay. So that's the one we did last time. So let's try this one. What's the first thing you're going to do? Number it. What's your main operation going on? Union. Union right there. So union means plus, intersection means and. So I'm going to number these. So I always start on the easier side. They're both kind of easy. On the left, it'll say A intersect B. That means it's in A and B. So it's in circle A and it's in circle B. So the 2 and the 5 right there. Plus, I want everything that's not in circle C. So which elements are not in circle C? I heard somebody. 1, 2, 3, 8 are not in circle C. And then the plus means we want to shade everything on the left, which is the 2 and the 5, plus everything on the right, which is 1, 2, 3, and 8. Questions on that one? Okay, if it's not in circle C, that's the number, here's circle C, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the numbers not in C are 1, 2, 3, 8. You with me? So I definitely, because of the union, it's plus. That means I shade both sides even if they don't get along. So I shade 1, 2, 3, 8 for the not C. And then for the A and B, I shade 2, 5 for that one. You with me, Hannah? Yes? Okay, we're going to number this one. What's our main operation going on here? So you'll see like some parentheses, and that's your main operation. So the intersection sign, which means what? And. So I'm going to write and right there. This is a very strict one. The only way I'm going to shade it is if it's on the left side and the right side. Okay? So on the left side it says A complement. So cover up A. What numbers are not in A? 3, 6, 7, 8. On the right side it says B union C. Union means plus. So that means I want everything in circle B plus everything in circle C without repeating. So I want 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And since it says and, that means I only want to shade the numbers that are on the left side and the right side. So they both have a 3, they both have a 6, and they both have a 7. So those are the parts I'm going to shade, 3, 6, and 7. Question on that one? Okay. Over here, what do we do first? We number. So I'm going to number it. Okay. So this one says B minus something. So that means I'll start off with circle B. Circle B has 2, 3, 5, 6. On the minus ones, I don't even write them down. I just think I need to take away, so it's not going to get any bigger than 2, 3, 5, 6. And then I'm going to subtract from here anything that's in C plus A. So anything that's in C, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus A, 1, 2, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, if they're in here, I'm taking them away, subtracting them off. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That only leaves me with part 3. So that's the only part I'm shading. So when you have the subtraction ones, you start with the one on the left, and it'll never get bigger than that. And then you subtract what's you need to subtract from it. Questions? Y'all let me know if you're stuck or confused or lost. Or if you're having fun, Maddie. If you're having fun, you let me know. If you're not having fun, we'll work on that. All right. Everybody number this and smile while doing so. Cat Cooper. What's the first thing? What's our main operation? Union, which means plus. So I'm going to put a plus sign there. On the left side, it says A. So I'm going to look at my circle A and write down all the numbers in circle A. 1, 2, 4, 5. On the right side, it says B minus C. So I start with B. Circle B, I have 2, 3, 5, 6. But I want to take out or subtract anything that's from C. So C is 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to get rid of the 5 and the 6 there. So I'm only going to shade 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, 3. Yes? Vicky, you good? Good. All right. So let's number this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Alyssa, what's my main operation here? Union, which means plus. On the left, I have circle A. So I'm going to write down all the numbers in circle A. 1, 2, 4, 5. On the right, I have the complement of, it's kind of like an exponent. That's why I like to write it like this more, because when you're doing, hold on, it's the same thing as B intersects C complement. When you're doing orders of operations, you would do in the parentheses first, then exponents, please excuse, and that's how you need to do these also. So in the parentheses first, B intersects C, that means it's in circle B and it's in circle C. So it's the 5 and the 6 right there. So we're really taking the complement of 5 and 6. So that means everything except 5 and 6. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And then the union is the friendly one. That means we want to shade everything on the left plus everything on the right. So we're going to end up shading everything except what? 6. Yay, coloring is fun. Just don't think of it as math homework. Think of it as therapeutic coloring. Alrighty, we got 2 more. I want you to try this very next one on your own, the one on the left. So I'll give you a second. All right. So we numbered it 1 through 8. It's a subtraction one. That means you write down the stuff on the left, circle A, 1, 2, 4, 5. And since we're subtracting from that, we know it's never going to get bigger than those 4 spots. We want to subtract from those 4 spots B intersects C. That means the part that's in B, circle B, and circle C, which would be the 5 and the 6. So we want to subtract any of that from here. That means get rid of 5. So we are only shading parts 1, 2, and 4. How many of you got that? Yay. Okay, so let's try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bella, main operation here is what? Union, which means plus. C is 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we've got to read this left side, Julia. This left side. It says A complement intersect B complement. What does that mean? Can you put that in words that we understand?
What's not A and what's not B?
Yeah, it's not in A and it's not in B. So it's just the 7 and the 8. And since it says plus, that means we want to shade both sides. So we want to shade 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yay. So let's see how y'all are doing here. So this one's kind of hard. The number in A union B equals the number in A minus B. So like basically what you want to do on this is draw a picture. So here's an A, here's a B. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So the numbers in A union B, that means A plus B. So that'd be the number of elements. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, those elements, right? Are y'all with me? Okay. And it's saying that it equals, so that's 5, 6, so that's 6. It equals the number in A minus B. So if we take the ones in A, 1 and 2, minus the ones in B, what are we left with? We take the ones in A, which are 1 and 2. Those are the numbers in A. And subtract the numbers from B, we're left with the 1. Plus, if we take the numbers from B, which are 2, 3, and we subtract the numbers from A, we're left with 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So this is a false. Okay. The number, or no, not the number. If A union B equals A union C, does that mean that B has to equal C? I'll start you going here. So suppose A is the set ABC. Okay? And B is the set CD. Okay. So Maddie, the set A union B, that means A plus B would be the set of what? Everything in A, which is what? Plus everything in B, but we don't repeat. You with me? Okay. So then this is saying A union B equals A union C. So I want to come up with a C such that this is true, but B doesn't equal C. Is that even possible? Right. I could let C equal the set containing. I definitely need the D included somewhere. So I could do dab right there. My son would be embarrassed. But there we go. So then if I did A union C, I'd have A, B, C, D. And so I was able to make it to where A union B equals A union C, but B doesn't equal C. Okay, just looking at examples here. So far, those were kind of like mind-blowing ones. Okay, these next two, I expect you to get these. You ready? If A intersect B is empty, what does that mean? Nothing in that intersection. And A intersect B, B intersect C is empty. Then is A intersect C empty? Draw a three-circle Venn diagram. Okay. So it says A intersect B is empty. What does that mean? That means there is nothing in that intersection of A and B. And B intersect C is empty. What does that mean? It means there's nothing in that intersection right there. Does A intersect C have to be empty? No, I could have something right here. Right? Here's a hint on this one. Draw a two-circle Venn diagram for part D. Two-circle Venn diagram. It says if A intersect B is empty, then A is empty and B is empty. True or false? Did you draw a two-circle Venn diagram? Okay. So what do we know? We know this intersection has nothing in it. Does that mean A and B are both empty also? No, we could have like stuff all out here and over here. Ask me questions if you're getting lost. You okay, London? Do I believe you? She says no. On what? Okay? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. These are very deep here. A union B minus B equals A. Draw a two-circle Venn diagram. Two-circle Venn diagram. How many parts are in a two-circle Venn diagram? 4. Right? So I'm going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I take A union B, that's everything in A plus everything in B. So that's the 1, the 2, and the 3, correct? And then it says minus B. So what do I want to take away from this group? The 2 and the 3, right? I want to take away anything that's from B. So I have taken everything from A plus B, 1, 2, 3. But then I'm subtracting B. So I'm getting rid of the 2 and the 3. So I'm down to just 1. So on this side of the equal sign, I have 1. And it equals A. What numbers are in circle A? 1 and 2. So is this true or false? False, because 1 does not equal the 1 and the 2. A union A. What is that? What does union mean? Plus. So if I take everything in set A and I add to it everything in set A without repeating, what am I going to have? A. You with me, Margaret? Okay. So then if I take everything in set A, London, and I add everything in the empty set, which is nothing, what am I going to have? A. So is this true or false? True. I think y'all are psyching yourselves out. Ones that what? You need to, yes. You need to be able to read these. Are you going to have 15 of these? No, maybe 4. Okay, so Taylor, since we're reading here, this says C intersect C complement equals U. Okay, my hint to you on all these is if you can't think it out, draw a picture. So I'm going to draw a picture of just C since that's the only one we're talking about. And inside C, I'll number that 1 and that 2. So there's only 2 parts in this whole Venn diagram. 1, 2, right? So if I take everything in C, which is what? 1. And this means and. Which of these numbers are in C complement? 2. So I can only count numbers that are on the left and the right. Do they have anything in common? No. So what does this really equal? The empty set. It equals the empty set. They have nothing in common. What would it need to be different on that to make that true? If that were a union, and we took everything on the left plus everything on the right, that'd be the whole universe. So a union would have made that true. Quit freaking out. Universal set. Pretend this is A all of a sudden, okay? Instead of C, it's A. Universal set minus A. What are you left with? A complement, right? So is this true or false? True. Okay. And then is the complement of A union B the same thing as the complement of A union the complement of B? Draw a picture. I'm going to number them. So on the left side, the complement of A union B, that means it's not in A or B or both. So where is it? 4. The 4. On this side, it's different because this one says it's not in A or, so plus, not in B. So which elements are not in A? 3 and 4. Plus, I want to add the elements not in B without repeating. So 1 and 4. So is this true or false? False. So yes, those are deep thoughts. So don't forget about those. Okay. It says we're going to answer questions using our Venn diagrams, pictures. So the choir has 24 members. 10 members sing, 12 play the piano, 6 sing and play the piano, and then it asks you questions. You know what my hint's going to be? Draw a picture. So this is our universe. Who is our universe? The 24 members of the choir. And we're broken down into 2 sets of people that it told us about. Those who can sing and those who play the piano. It says 10 of them sing, but the sing circle is in how many parts? 2. So when you add those 2 parts together, it'll add up to 10. The piano, 12 play the piano, so when you add up those 2 parts, it'll add up to 12. 6 sing and play the piano. So that one I could put in right away. Then backing out, if 12 play the piano and I already have 6 people in the piano circle, how many go in the other part of the piano circle? 6. Who are those 6 people? They only play the piano. They don't sing. They just play the piano. Okay. And then if I have 10 who sing, but I already have 6 people in the circle for singing, who goes in the other side? 4. And who are the people that are in the universe but not in the circle? Who are they? They don't sing or play the piano, but they're still in the choir for whatever reason. Who knows? How do we find out how many people there are? Add them up, subtract from 24, and you get 8. Okay, so then we can answer our questions. How many only sing? 4. How many members cannot sing or play the piano? 8. Questions? Pictures are nice. Pictures are your friend. Okay, this one doesn't give us a story. It just flat out says the number in the universe is 230. Then we have circle A and B, and it asks us stuff. So I know I'm going to draw a Venn diagram with two circles, A and B. How come I know there's not three circles? Because it never mentions C anywhere. So the number in this whole universe is going to add up to be 230. How many different regions are in this two-circle Venn diagram? So when I add up all four of these, it's going to add up to 230. Y'all with me on that? Okay. It says the number in circle A is 110. So when I add up those two parts, it'll add to 110. B will add up to 95. A intersect B, where A and B connected, is 40. So I know there's a 40 right there. Okay. Then backing up, if there's 95 in circle B, and I already have 40 in there, how many's on this other side? 55. Again, let me say this. You are allowed to use a four-function or scientific calculator on your test next Monday. No graphing calculator, no phone. No Scantron. All right. The number in circle A is 110. I already have 40 in there. How many does that leave? 70. And then, how did I find how many is in the universe but outside the circle? Add them up, subtract from 230, and you would get 65. And then it's asking us this, which you got to be able to interpret. So it says the number in A union B complement. Okay, Davey, can you interpret that for us? Or. It's not in A or B, which means or both in mathematics. So if it's not in A or B, where is it? It's the 65 out there. So you can see how it's important to be able to read and interpret what these mean. Stop me if you have a question. Feel free to watch the video later and stop me as much as you want and yell at me because I can't be there to hear you. All right, a gymnastics team has 37 girls. 15 excel on the floor, 14 parallels, 11 or 10, I got to move that over at the beam. So we have 3 events going on in this gymnastics team. So I'm going to draw a 3-circle Venn diagram. Let's see, we've got the floor. We've got the uneven parallel bars. I'm just going to write parallel. And we have the beam. So what is my universe representing? The 37 on the gymnastics team. Okay? 15 excel. How many different parts or regions are in this? 8. There's 8. So all 8 of these will add to 37. So when it says 15 excel at the floor, that means all 4 of those will add up to 15. No way I could put that number in yet. And you keep skipping along until you find one you can. Right here, 3 excel at all 3 events. So 3 will go right in the middle. So then backing up one, 5 excel at the uneven parallel bars. So we've narrowed it down to these 4 right here. And the beam. So out of these 4, including the beam, would be these 2. So 3 and something will add up to 5. So there must be 2 right there. 7 excel at the floor and the beam. So when it says they excel at the floor, we automatically narrowed it down from 8 to these 4. And then it says this and the beam. So we narrowed it down to these 2. We already have a 3. That leaves a 4. 8 excel at the floor and uneven parallel bars. I already have a 3 in there. That leaves a 5. 10 excel at the beam. So my whole circle for the beam is going to add up to 10. Right now it adds up to 9, so that leaves 1. 14 excel at the parallel bars. Right now the parallel circle adds up to 10, so that leaves how many? 4. And who are those 4 people, Kristen? People who excel only at the parallel bars, right, nothing else. And then 15 excel at the floor routine. So the floor circle will add up to 15. Right now it adds up to 12, so that's missing 3. And then who would be the people in the universe but outside the circles? We don't want to say they excel at nothing, because they won't be on the team if they excel at nothing. But they're on the team, but they don't excel at these 3 things, so they could excel at something else. We'll just go with that. Okay, so we find that by doing 37 minus all these numbers, and we get 15. So then let's see if we can answer our questions. How many girls excel only at the beam? That one right there, 1. How many excel only at the parallel bars? 4. How many do not excel at any of these 3 events? So once we have our picture, our questions are fairly easy. Question on that? Okay. 250 college students were asked what they did last night. Completely fill in the Venn diagram below given the following information. So depending on where you learn this from, if you go to some tutoring place somewhere, they're going to try to say like 169 watch TV. So these 4 add up to TV. They're going to say put A, B, C, D, and then put A plus B plus C plus D equals 169. And then you can substitute stuff in as you go. And if that works for you, great. Do it. Okay? In my head, that confuses me to death. But if that works for you, go for it. What I do is I read through all the bullets, and I haven't come to a problem yet that by the 3rd time I've read through the bullets, I've filled in all my numbers. I just skip the ones I can't do. So I know this whole thing is going to add up to 250. So I'll go ahead and put that down. So when it says 169 watch TV, that whole TV circle will add up to 169. I can't do it yet, so I skip it. 16 went out to eat only. Can we do that one? Yes, we could put those right there. They ate out, did nothing else. And then you cross it off. 46 said they went out to eat and watch TV. So they went out to eat, so we narrowed it down to these 4. And they watched TV, so we narrowed it down to these 2. But they did not study, so we narrowed it down to that 1. It says 132 did not study. So if you take your thumb and cover up the study circle, everything else should add up to 132. But we're missing TV only and the people outside, so we can't do that yet. Until we get here where it says 18 went right to bed without doing any of these things. Now we can go back. 132 did not study. So if you cover up the study circle, these other 4 numbers should add up to 132. So we can find this now. We'll just do 132 minus 18 minus 46 minus 16. And we would get 52 people right there. And who are those people? They only watch TV. They did not eat out or study. They just watch TV only. Okay, still going down. 31 did all 3 things. I can do that. 141 did at least 2 of these. That means they either did exactly 2 or all 3. I can't do that. So my first time through the bullets, I was able to put in quite a few numbers. That's not always the case, but I guarantee you by the 3rd time you will have them all in. So second time through, 169 watch TV. Can I do that one now? Yes. So I'll do 169 minus the numbers already in the TV circle, and that's going to leave me with 40. 141 did at least 2 of these things. So that means they either did exactly 2 or all 3. Can I do that one now? Yes. So I'll do 141 minus 46 minus 40 minus 31, and I will get 24. So I've answered all my bullets, but I'm missing one group still. Which group am I missing? Studied? Only studied. Only studied. How do I find them? 250 minus all those numbers. So 250 minus all those numbers would leave you with 18. Right there. Okay. Dos más of these. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. What did I do? Oh, I had 18 here. Yes, I looked at my paper wrong. Thank you. 23 only studied. I was using my cheat notes and it didn't work. Okay, so this next page, we got 2 more. I want you to do example 15 first, and I want you to try it on your own. Okay, so I'm going to pause. All right. So an Aggie football game last year, 410 fans were asked what they bought from the concession stand. So this whole thing is going to add up to be 410. That doesn't count as one of your numbers, correct? Sorry. 358 bought a drink. So if we add up all the drink circle, we'd get that. Can't do it. 142 bought a drink and hot dog. So these two right here. Can't do it. 23 bought nachos only. That one I can do. Okay, so let me back up a second because I heard a racing going on. On the 142 bought a drink and a hot dog. A lot of people like to put it right there, but these people also bought a drink and a hot dog. They just bought other things. So everyone in the drink circle that overlaps with the hot dog circle, they all bought a drink and a hot dog. It's just that these bought other things and these did not. Y'all with me? Okay. 92 bought nachos and a drink. So they're in the nacho circle and the drink circle, right? These two. Can't do it. 44 bought nachos or a hot dog. In mathematics, that means or both. So nachos or a hot dog or both, but not a drink. So it's these 3. Okay. 40 bought all 3 of these things. And 161 bought exactly 2 of these things, which would be there, there, and there. And we can't do it. So my first time through, I could only get 2 numbers. So my second time through, 358 bought a drink. So these 4 will add up to that. Can't do it yet. 142 bought a drink and a hot dog. So they're in this little football shape. I already have 40, so that leaves 102. So that means 102 bought a drink and hot dog only, and 40 bought a drink and hot dog and nachos. 92 bought nachos and a drink. So they're in this little football. I already have 40 there. That leaves 52. 44 bought nachos or a hot dog, but not a drink. So these 3 right here would add up to 44. And then 161 bought exactly 2 of these things. So those 3 spots add up to exactly 2 of these things. So I can do that one now. 161 minus 102 minus 52 gives me 7. All right, so my second time through my bullets, I got quite a few more. Here goes my third time through. I should get them this time. 358 bought a drink. I can do that one now, right? 358 minus all those numbers right there. 44 bought nachos, they're in the nacho circle, or a hot dog, but not a drink. So these 3 spots will add up to 44. Right now they add up to 30. So there must be 14 there. Who are those 14 people? They bought only a hot dog, only a hot dog. So I've done all my bullets, but I'm missing some people. Who? I can't say they didn't buy anything. They didn't buy these 3 things. Or candy or whatever. So 410 minus all those numbers. Anybody do it? 8. Okay, got one more. Going back up to 14. And I'm going to send you a practice sheet of these. There's some in the book, there's some in the online homework, but I'm going to send you specifically, I think I have a paper with 8 of these on there and the answers, so you can practice just these. This is something that gets people on the test. It really does. Okay, a survey conducted among 75 teenagers who recently took their driver's test to get their license. So I know this whole universe will add up to 75. Okay, completely fill in the Venn diagram below. Note 2 numbers have been filled in for you. So let me talk about this with you. Ready? How many regions or parts are there in this Venn diagram? 8. Okay. How many of those parts make up girls? 4. There's a girl circle, right? All 4 parts in the girl, those are girls. Who are these people? Boys. If you're not in the girl circle, you're a boy. Okay? If you're not in the failed circle, you passed. These people passed. If you're not 18 years or older, meaning if you're under 18, you're not in there. If you're under 18, you're on these. Y'all with me? Niecy, come on. Oh, we'll go. I'm going to talk with you, Niecy. Here we go. 27 girls took the test. That means this girl circle needs to add to 27. Can't do it yet. Right? 13 students under 18-year-olds failed. Let me show you how to read this. 13 students under 18, stop. They're under 18. Cover that up with your thumb and say, all these people, they're under 18. And then keep reading. They failed. So instead of all 4 of these, we're talking about just these 2. Can't do it. Instead of reading 10 boys failed their test, you read 10 boys and you stop. That means they're not a girl. So there's one of these 4. And it says they failed. So we're talking about these 2. Hang with me. Instead of reading 10 girls who are 18 or older failed, you read 10 girls and you stop. We've narrowed it down to these 4. 10 girls. Who are 18 or older. So out of these 4, we narrowed it down to these 2. And they failed. So out of these 2, we narrowed it down to that one. You must read slowly. Sometimes in my notes, if you're looking at my keys and stuff, I'll put first beside the one I was able to do first, just in case it helps you when you're looking at it later. Okay, you ready? 30 teenagers under 18 years old. Stop. If they're under 18, they're not in that circle, right? You with me, Kat? So if they're not in that circle, where are they? All these people, okay? And it says 30 teenagers under 18, and they passed. So what else do we know? They're not in the failed circle either. So they're not in this circle or that circle. So they're just these 2. So that leaves 22 on the outside. Who specifically are those 22 people, Miss Martinez? Boys who passed and are under 18. You got it. 16 boys who are 18 or older passed. Read it slowly. 16 boys. They're not girls. who were 18 or older. So we're talking these two. Passed. That one. Second time through. 27 girls took the test. Can we do that one now? Yes. So 27 minus the numbers that are in the girl circle leaves us with 4 right here. Who are those 4 people? Who wants to tell me? Okay, Nisty, go ahead. Girls who and are under 18. Girls who failed and are under 18. 13 students under 18, so cover up the 18 or older circle. They're under 18, so that we're talking about these 4. And they failed, so we're talking about these 2 right here. We already have 4, so that leaves how many? 9. And who are those 9 people? Boys who failed, and they're under 18. 10 boys failed their test. So they're boys, that means they're not girls, and they failed. So they're in these 2. I already got 9, I need 1. And who am I missing? Nobody. All right. Got all those. Doing good. Beautiful. Okay. Don't pack up. We're not going yet. 13. It said 13 students, 18 under 18, so they're not in here. And it says that they failed. So out of these 4, they failed. That'd be those 2. We already have 4. So that, okay. Okay. We're turning to 3.1. 3.1 is in 2 parts. We are going, and one's a very little part, and one's not so little. So this isn't even going to be funny at all to you, but when we finish, I promise you'll be rolling on the floor laughing. I'm just saying. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Okay, Roman numerals, Roman numerals. So back 200 BC is when they came up with this, created Roman numerals. It's still used in a lot of things today. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are literally 7 symbols, 7 letters that we use. That's it. No more. So you need to memorize these 7 letters and their value if you don't know them already. Okay. And then there's like a bazillion rules that you start thinking, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to remember this? But strangely, you do. You do. It's weird. All right, so some of the rules for Roman numerals. You can never use more than 3 consecutive identical symbols. For example, we can't say LLL. There's 150. We can't do that. More than 3. Just kidding. We can't say LLLL. Yeah, we can use 3, not more than 3. You always want to use the smallest number of symbols possible. For example, 900 in Roman numerals is CM, not DCD. I know you don't know what either of those are yet, but they both look like they could be 900, but you'd have to go with the CM because it's the fewer symbols. If a smaller value goes in front of, precedes a larger value, you subtract it from the larger value. Okay? For example, if we put an I in front of the X, so a smaller one comes in front, then you subtract 1 from 10, and that would be 9. So IX is 9. Okay? Each instance of subtraction can only be done with a single digit. You can only subtract 1 letter. That's it. So we can't put 2 I's in front and say, oh, isn't that 8? No, can't do that. Can't subtract 2. Can't do it. Subtraction can only be done with, basically, subtraction can only be done with IX and C. Can only be done with IX and C. So you can't subtract V or L or D. You can't subtract anything except I, X, and C. I know, you're like, how in the world am I going to remember this? You will. Subtraction can only be done with one of the next 2 higher symbols. That is, I can only be subtracted from V and X. You can't subtract I from L and say, oh, that's 49. You're not allowed to. You can only subtract it from 2 ahead of it. Okay. And then there's controversy on values over 3,999, mainly because in 200 BC, what did they have 4,000 to count of? Pebbles? I don't know. So there's controversy. I'm going with just the most popular one, which is you put a bar over it, and that means times 1,000. So V11 would be 511, which is 7, times 1,000, which would be 7,000. If you put 2 bars over it, that means times 1,000 times 1,000. So this would be 7 times 1,000 times 1,000, which would be 7 million. Okay? All right, so let's look at this. Use the rules from Roman numeral to fill in the following chart. So CM. C is smaller than M, so what do? Subtract. So 100 subtracted from 1,000 is 900. CD is 100 less than 500, right? So that would be 400. XC, what's XC? 90. You take 10 away from 100. How come all of these I'm subtracting? The number in front smaller. XL, IX, and IV. So on example 2, explain why the following symbols are not defined in the Roman numeral system. How come LM is not a real number? It didn't really exist. There's a couple reasons. There's more than 2 in between, so it's subtracting more than 2 up. What else? There's a more important one than that. Yeah, you're not allowed to subtract L. You can only subtract I, X, or C. So they were trying, what number do you think they were trying to come up with? 50 less than 1,000. So they were trying to come up with what number? What number? 950. Okay, so let's say how would we do 950? So look right above it, about an inch. How do you do 900? CM. And how do you do 50? Look about 3 inches above that. What's 50? L. Okay, so that would be 950. How come IM is not a real number? What? Why can't you subtract I from M, Maddie? Okay, it's more than 2 letters higher. Oops. So M is more than 2 letters above I. What number are they trying to come up with? 999. They're trying to take 1 away from 1,000, but that's not right. So how do you think we would do 999? I'll give you a hint. 900 is CM. 90 is XC, and 9 is IX. Just looking at this stuff here, I can figure that out. And how come we can't have XXXX? No more than 3 consecutive, no more than 3 consecutive letters, identical letters. What were they trying to come up with? 40. Okay, how would we do 40 instead? There's the hint right above it. XL.